Of our series Tech Tyranny, we're covering the ways that powerful tech companies are dominating American life in a way that has never happened before in American history. Most people are ignoring it. They shouldn't be. It's changing everything. Amazon's power over data is so great now that even the U.S. military is seeking their help. Within a few weeks, the Defense Department is expected to request a $10 billion contract that will allow Amazon to become the sole provider of cloud computing services to the military. What does this mean? A story we're not going to ignore. Matt Stoller is a fellow with Citizens Against Monopoly, and he joins us tonight. Matt, this is one of those stories that, like a lot of stories right now, they're just kind of passing people by. And no one's stopping to say, well, what is this and what are the implications of it? So let me ask, what is this and what are the implications of this?
So this is what the Pentagon calls a potential revolution in how they buy information technology. And information technology is the heart of everything right now,
yes,
including war. So this is a decision by the Pentagon, or potential decision by the Pentagon, to do something very unusual, which is to not have multiple suppliers of a key resource that they rely on, in this case, data. And they are handing over an important bottleneck of our national security to Jeff Bezos and Amazon. And that's something that should be very concerning to people, because Jeff Bezos has relationships, Amazon has relationships all over the world with all sorts of entities that could, that have a reason to manipulate and undermine American national security interests. And even if they don't, even if Amazon does a great job and we have no other redundant cloud computing services, last year, because of a typo in an Amazon data center, a whole bunch of websites, 150,000 websites went down, including big ones like Pinterest, parts of Slack, and even the Securities and Exchange Commission. So it is a really dangerous thing to award a contract over such a vital resource to just one company. And the Pentagon needs to split this among multiple cloud computing service companies so that there's some basic redundancy and so that Jeff Bezos is not the sole guy who's in charge of this.
A company that has relationships with foreign governments that we don't fully understand, as you pointed out. This seems nuts. Why would we do something like this? Why would the Pentagon do something like this?
I know, it's like a bad movie plot or something like that. I mean, what's the first thing that you're going to do if you get into a war with the United States? You know, you would undermine the Pentagon's ability to access its data. And if there's only one provider of data, if it's just Amazon AWS, it's much easier to do that than if you have multiple sources of supply. It's just basic national security strategy. So I'm not exactly sure what the Pentagon is thinking. I think there are probably multiple different power centers in the Pentagon that are thinking about this. They might believe that, you know, Amazon, if you just award it all to one company, that they will have the best security. But then, of course, if there's penetration of that one security barrier, then, you know, all your eggs are in that one basket. So there's different arguments for why you'd award a contract like this to one company, but it's probably a bad idea, and it's contra the long history of American national security policy.
Has any company had more power in the history of this country or any other country than Amazon or Google, ever?
It's a really good question. I mean, I think you could potentially look at Standard Oil in the 1880s and 1890s, but they didn't have the ability to profile individuals, to manipulate individuals and individual companies the way that Jeff Bezos and the way that Larry Page does. So it's hard to say, but this is crazy.
They could control your energy, but they had no control over your mind. Which seems a big difference to me. Matt Stoller, thank you for paying attention to this while most people aren't. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Our series Tech Tyranny will continue every night this week, and again and again and again, because we think it's worth investigating the growing and dangerous powers of big tech, because nobody else is. Up next, something very odd was spotted by a passenger on a commercial flight over the Mediterranean the other day. We're going to show you the video, and you can decide for yourself what you think it is. It's amazing.